Welcome to Norfolk Perspectives. I'm Bob Hatcher. You know, we've got a great future in hand, and the Norfolk Police Department is building some components that'll help build that future, but there's some stumbling blocks, and some of those stumbling blocks are with our kids. And Officer Ali Williams, Crime Prevention Unit, how you doing?
Sir. Wonderful, Bob.
Vernon Dozier, investigator for the gang unit.
Yes, sir.
And Teresa Scales, Community Outreach Coordinator, Project Safe Neighborhoods, Office of the Attorney General. How you doing?
I'm great.
Okay, stumbling block, is that a way of kind of putting it? For a bright future for some kids. And what is that stumbling block, Ali?
The stumbling block is the active bullying and the gang issue that we see in our areas. We want to definitely try to do our best to kind of combat that. And that's the reason for this collaboration amongst these 6 awesome agencies.
Okay, I'm going to ask you, what are the 6 agencies?
6 agencies. First one being the Office of the Attorney General's, Commonwealth Attorney's Office, Norfolk Police Department's PAL program, VGIA, which is part of our gang unit here in Norfolk, Norfolk Redevelopment Housing Authority, and Norfolk Parks and Recs.
Okay, and you're really going to be pulling together, you're just making this announcement, aren't you?
Yes,
to kind of tackle something that some people just say it's too big to tackle. But we're going for it. And you're going to go for it by talking, right?
Bob, it's never too big to tackle. Yes, we're going to talk. We want to break out. We're going to have breakout sessions for the younger kids and then breakout sessions for the adults also, just to put some information out there, some needed information.
Okay. Teresa, what role does do you all play with the Attorney General's office?
Well, Mark Herring's initiative was to reduce the violence among the youth in Norfolk. And so what I have been tasked to do is to go around and speak to the youth about the consequences of their behavior in regards to gang violence and in regards to gun violence. And I'm able to do that because I'm a former probation and a parole officer with juvenile court. So
wait a minute, you seem like such a nice person.
I am. You know, but
so you can hold your own with these 2 guys, huh?
Yes.
Yes, you can, Bob.
But I've been very fortunate because that allowed me to be in a position where I can actually talk to the children and their families about what it means to go to Department of Juvenile Justice and what that process is and how it affects the family overall, how it affects the family financially. But then at the same time, I'm also able to give the kids positive things, you know, such as like going to the Croc Center after school programs, you know, or just go to school every day and behave if you don't want to be involved in anything, or try to give them a good message that they can relate to their friends about the laws.
Because, I mean, I'll be candid with you. I was 50 years old before I went to the Juvenile Justice Office, and that was to do a video.
Right.
It was a different place than I ever thought. I mean, when you're talking to a little kid, I mean, they got the world ahead of them, and what you're telling them it's not part of their radar screen at all. So how does it happen? How do they fall into a gang? Or
some kids, you know, fall into it because they're emulating their peers, or they want to be like their brother, they want to be like their cousin. Some of them do it because they literally have a lack of knowledge about the consequences. Some of them do it to escape from what's going on at home. I mean, it's a lot of reasons, you know, why kids do it. I don't think it's exactly just one particular reason why they do it. And I know throughout my travels and speaking to the kids of Norfolk, there are those kids that are in it, and they're in it to win it, and there's nothing that I can say or do to make them change. But then there are those kids that I can tell it's something that I've said during that presentation, because then they start to ask the questions about, oh, I didn't know it was illegal to do this, or I didn't know it was illegal to do that, or why is it that my mom has to be punished for my behavior? So each kid may get the message different, you know, but if we can reach out to 1,000 kids and touch 50 of those kids or touch 100 of those kids, the job has been done, you know, to a certain degree.
Vernon, who influences them? Because I'm sure they're not sitting in bed saying, I'm going to become a member of a gang.
And, you know, and I'm glad you asked that question. We find nowadays social media is a big influence on our youth that want to, you know, conduct themselves in gang activity. And then, again, a lot of these kids are misinformed. A lot of these kids are truly misinformed. They believe that, you know, being part of something to that magnitude, which, you know, like a gang, they believe that they're really going to be there for them as family, which that's not the case.
Yeah. And I look at the difference between when we were kids. You talk about peer pressure, but you put the peer pressure that we got now, social media, kind of exposing a kid to things that they aren't emotionally prepared to handle. You can't tell them that, though, can you?
Well, no, you can.
Can
I
you?
mean, because they when I talk to the kids, I've been to several different schools throughout Norfolk, and when I talk to the kids, I do let them know, you guys are working with a brain that's not fully developed because you're not an adult. You're trying to carry on adult activities, but you don't understand the consequences
So you talk
because
turkey
you're a
to 'em?
child.
Yeah.
Yes.
Basically. You have to.
Yeah.
Yes,
you have to.
because I have to meet them where they are, and the world and the law are not going to sugarcoat things for them. So I can't sugarcoat things for them because it's real. When you get, when you get taken away from your parent at 14, 15, 16 years old and you're not coming home for another 2 years or 3 years, that's serious.
And, it's funny, she said a lot of these kids don't understand. At the age of 14 here, you can be charged as an adult. And a lot of these kids don't believe it until it happens. I've worked numerous cases where children have been certified to the courts, and they are actually adults now. Anytime they get incarcerated, they don't go to juvenile detention. They go to 811.
Whoa. And when they get to be 29, they find it even harder to do the right thing because of the record they got.
Correct.
And I'm glad you say that, because I'm one of the officers that I truly care about what I do. I truly care about the general public and the kids that I deal with on a daily basis. Yes. And I try to make sure that they understand when you develop that big F, which is the felony, as an adult, you just set yourself 10 steps back, because not a lot of jobs will be willing to hire you with those felony convictions. So if you feel that this family is for you and they're telling you to go down the street and fire at that crowd of people, but when you do get caught by the police and you've developed those charges, that family's not there for you, then your real family, they're going to tell you, hey, we tried, but we can't do anything more for you at this point because you are a product of the system. And the system now is holding you back for your actions when you were a juvenile or an adult.
But I'm protected from that because I'm cool. Right?
Absolutely.
And so, Allie, you're going to have a series of forums, right?
Yes, indeed, Bob. The first forum is going to be June 13th over at the Kroc Center. It'll be from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Second forum is July 18th over at the Norview Center. That forum is going to be from 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. We have a third one at August 1st, which is going to be over at the Park Place Community Center. That too is going to be from 12 to 4 p.m. And then September 5th will be the final one over at the Berkeley Community Center. That too will be from 12 p.m. to 4 p.m.
And the purpose of the forums?
Purpose of the forums is to get information out primarily to the parents, because so many parents are walking blind. They don't understand what they're funding, what they're giving their child money and tell them to go shop at the mall, and they're picking up items that are basically gang paraphernalia.
Well, because, so much of our decisions as a parent, obviously, all of were based on when we were kids. And instead of living in that world to say, well, when we were kids, it was, why can't it go back to that? It's not going to go back to that, is it?
No.
So the best way to prepare our kids is to talk openly?
Absolutely.
Give them the truth.
One other thing, Bob. You're a fairly young man.
Why, thank you.
Do you have grandkids?
Not yet.
Okay. For parents of age and a little younger that have grandkids or kids, a lot of these parents don't take the time out to look at their social media sites these kids are on. Kids nowadays don't talk the same language we talk. They talk totally different language on social media sites. I mean, these words are broken down to, you can have a huge word that's broken down into 2 letters, and these kids completely understand it. But as far as a parent, when you go on your child's social website and look at what he's looking at, or you can't dissect what he's doing whatsoever, and he's easily can be setting himself up for failure. And I just wish one of these things this forum is for, to get the parents more involved with their kids, because the way I say it, and I say that to everybody, we have unsupervised children.
Yep.
And they're just walking.
And the last thing you want to do is see that kid go to jail.
Absolutely. I don't believe that incarceration is the answer for all children. I believe that, programs that are set up like street law, juvenile probation, they have programs implemented for some of these kids that'll direct them down another path. And I believe that is the answer for some of our kids.
I want to talk to the parent out there. Go to the sources of information. Come to our website. Look up some more. Get to these forums. Hey, you know what? These guys get it. For the ones that are out there thinking they're kids, they get it. They know your number. Now it's a matter of the parent knowing the number too. Thanks a lot for doing what you're doing. Now
Thank you, Bob.
let's stay out in front of it. Okay, when we come back, it's all about running and walking for those kids. Stay tuned.